Hello, this is Dr. Sevakant Pathak, once more here to teach vector analysis. I have completed two parts of video lecture of vector analysis by name part 1 and part 2, in which we have seen what is a vector, type, its fundamental operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication by various ways. In the chapter vector student, some topics are very crucial and their fundamental are slightly confusing. So be careful, be with us and see. We will see the fundamentals of some topic here very clearly. It will help to solve the numerical problem and reasoning questions by this very carefully. The topic of this vector, which seems easy, but it is not much easy. Some concept is very critical and it is required to understand in very intelligent way. So see, be with us, see this. This is part 3 of that. Today we are with part 3, vector analysis. In this part 3, we will see the two terms, one position vector and another displacement vector. See both position vector and displacement vector. What is a position vector and what is a displacement vector? See carefully in it. See one thing, let a point P is here. Its position of point P at time t1. After some time, its position becomes at point Q at time t2. See very carefully, by this two position of a point from P to Q in time from t1 to t2, by this example we will understand the mean of position vector and displacement vector here. To make clear fundamentals regarding this, make a two-dimensional frame of reference. Two-dimensional. In this two-dimensional, one in the direction of x-axis, another in the direction of y-axis. It is the point origin. See, this is a frame of reference. Actually, this O is the position of observer. See very carefully. The position of particle at P and Q is obtained by an observer, and the location of observer is considered at the origin of frame of reference. See very carefully. If you are able to understand this point, once more I am explaining the things. See very carefully. This is the two-dimensional frame of reference along x-axis and y-axis. This is a point P, position of a particle at point P at time t1. After at time t2, its position changes and reach at a point Q. So see, at a time t, when particle is at point P, join OP. This OP is position vector, is called position vector for particle at P at time t1. This is OP is called position vector. This is towards OP. See very carefully. Now after time t2, it reaches at point Q. Join from the observer is at same position, no change in the position of observer when time changes from T1 to T2. So when it is reaches at point Q2, join O with Q2. This OQ is called also position vector. And it gives the position of point Q at time T2. So this is position vector OP and it is position vector OQ, OP and OQ. See the arrow. Arrow actually represents direction and the length represents magnitude of a position vector. Now join, if its position changes from P to Q, so join P to Q. It is particle is shifted from P to Q. So PQ vector is called displacement vector. Displacement vector. It is very clear to you people to understand here. So here position vector, displacement vector PQ is a difference of two vectors. It is OQ vector position minus position vector OP. See very carefully. See how it is obtained. Clear? So this article is only to make you understand. It is not for to show the meaning of subtraction of a vector. Subtraction of a vector I have dealt in the first part. So you understand the concept of subtraction of vector from there. But see here only the concept of position vector and displacement vector. Position vector is obtained from point of observations and displacement vector is from P to Q. Now we will see the concept of a zero vector. Zero vector has also some important terms used here and it is compulsory to know about the concept of zero vector. Zero vector concept I am giving by an example to you. Example. See, we have two vector, vector A and vector B. Both are equal vector. If we मान लें both vector are equal vector, it means the magnitude of A and B are same and direction is the same. And when we obtain vector A minus vector B, then it's come 0. So this 0 is called zero vector or null vector. This zero vector or null vector, see very carefully, null vector, it has zero magnitude, means no magnitude and no direction. So see, it has no magnitude, no specific direction, no direction in this case. So it has some properties. Zero vector. When we add a vector quantity A with zero vector, zero vector is represented by this symbol, zero vector, then resultant is a vector u. It must be clear. When this is the first property, when second property, when any numerical value say small n multiply by null vector or zero vector. A numerical value multiplied by zero vector, resultant is 0. This is zero vector. Now one more important property of this, property number 3. This is when a zero vector multiplied by another vector. In this case, the resultant is always zero vector or null vector. These are the three fundamental properties of the zero vector. Now we are going to see unit vector. The concept of unit vector is much more important here in the vector analysis, and this concept will be applicable also in mathematics. So see carefully what is the unit vector. The concept of unit vector also I am explaining here by taking an example. See what is the example here. Let a vector quantity A vector quantity A, it implies that it has magnitude represented by this mod of A, and it has direction. So it has a two things, magnitude and direction. See carefully this. Vector A has two parts. Let its magnitude is represented by A and direction is represented by n cap. This implies that n cap is equal to vector A by A in this case. See, here in this case n cap is called unit vector. What does it mean by unit vector? It has magnitude 1. What is the magnitude of this? 1. So 1 will be multiplied by A, will be the same you are knowing, and has direction. So see, n is called unit vector. What is the direction of unit vector? The direction of unit vector is in the direction of A. Magnitude 1. So this is a very important concept in the physics to understand the meaning of unit vector. See, if one more thing is the concept of unit vector is also in case of 3 dimension. Let any vector is here A available. A vector A is, so we can say that this vector A is equal to A into n cap. So n cap is a unit vector, means it shows a direction. Clear? This unit vector along x, y and z axis, understand, in 3 dimensions. See a frame of reference in a 3D. x, y and z. If a vector, a unit vector is along x-axis, then it is represented by I cap. If a vector, unit vector along x-axis is represented by I cap. Unit vector along y-axis is represented by j cap. And unit vector along z-axis is represented by k cap. Unit vector along z-axis is k cap. So we can say that I, j, k are unit vector along x, y and z axis in 3 dimensions. This this is a different, I, j, k are different. It may be this unit vector A in the previous case may be in direction any, makes angle with some angle with x, some angle with y and some angle with z. But here I is along the x-axis. What is the direction? Along the x-axis, in the direction of x-axis. But magnitude is 1. J is a single magnitude along y-axis and k is single magnitude along z-axis. So I, j, k are unit vectors along x, y and. Now we are going to see one more important topic in a vector, resolution of a vector. First of all, we are going to see resolution of vector in 2 dimensions. So to understand the resolution of vector in 2 dimensions, we are selecting here a frame of reference, 2-dimensional frame of reference. Let x and y axis from OX and OY. Let here is a vector A. In this case, and if you want to obtain the resolution of this vector A, which makes angle theta with the x-axis, so in 2-dimensional it has 2 projections, 2 resolutions, one along x-axis, this is vector Ax, see vector Ay. When we see in the diagram, parallelogram, actually it's represent vector A is vector sum of vector Ax and vector Ay. See in the diagram very carefully, it can be understood by method of parallelogram of addition of 2 vectors. So in this case, Ax and Ay is called projections of vector A. In 2 dimensions it has 2 projections, and in 3 dimensions it has 3 projections. So first of all we are watching for 2-dimensional in this case, and A can also be obtained by Pythagoras theorem. Its magnitude Ax square plus Ay square. See, it is Ay and it is Ax. So the resultant A can be obtained by this formula, and direction with this tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base, so it is AY by AX. See these two formula used here in the case. Mathematically, AX is called A cos theta and AY is called A sin theta. The trigonometrical components are here. The same resolution of a vector we can do in case of a 3 dimension also. When we resolve a component of vector in 3 dimension, we will select a frame of reference in a 3 dimension. I am considering a vector A here, whose resultant we will see in a 3-dimensional. It has 3 components. Here in the case, this is along here AX, here along AY, and along Z-axis AZ. The 3 components of a same vector, and mathematically vector A is a sum of AX plus AY plus AZ in a vector notation, and A is equal to arithmetically AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. We can see this diagram in 3 dimension, and it is required also to see this. Carefully see the diagram how I am making here a frame of reference X, Y and Z. We are selecting a vector A and we want to represent it in terms of this. To do this, here see carefully. See this rectangle, everybody. In this case, now in a vector, this is frame of reference X, Y, Z axis. Here is origin. Here is a vector A. So here in this case, this is called up to here AX. This is called projection of vector A along Y axis AY, and this is along Z axis AZ. See projection AX, AY, AZ, and their resultant is here represented here. It can also be represented in terms of unit vector. Vector A is equal to vector AX. Vector AX can be written as AX magnitude and its direction by unit vector I, because it is direction of x-axis. Similarly, projection along y-axis AY into unit vector J along y-axis plus AZ into K unit vector along z-axis. Similarly, in case of 2 dimension, we can also represent vector A is equal to its component AX into unit vector along x-axis plus y component magnitude ay into unit vector along z y axis, that is the j. C, the representation in which the vector is represented in term of I, j and k. Here in this I, j and k, this concept with the vector is important here in the case and clear to understand, and then projections and other. Now we are going to see one more important topic here. In vector analysis, this is motion of object in 3 dimensions. See the concept of it very carefully, and students are always in confusion to understand it. See a frame of reference in 3-dimensional x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Let a position vector R is here. This position vector R from O to, suppose this is point A, the position particle is at point A and it is in motion. Let a particle at A in motion. If it is particle A is here and it is motion, this motion we are going to understand in a 3-dimension. So to understand in 3-dimension, I draw here 3-dimensional frame of reference OX, OY and OZ along X, Y and Z axis. The position vector we are selecting, position vector R here to represent the position of point A along this O to A. It is a position vector R. Its component along x-axis is this, y-axis is this and z-axis is this. So it is, let along x-axis its magnitude is small x into unit vector, along y-axis its magnitude is y, and along z-axis let its magnitude is z, and unit vector along this is k. So this is called position vector in terms of ijk in 3 dimensions. This is a position of particle in beginning of the motion. See my word very carefully. In the beginning of motion, at the starting point. Now if it is in a motion, so we want to see its velocity. Its velocity. See the concept of velocity in case of a vector very carefully. Here in the case, velocity we are knowing it is a rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Rate of change of position changes with respect to time. If a particle's position changes with respect to time, it means it is in a motion. If no change in its position, it remains at the same point after changing the time, then it is said to be in state of rest, stationary state. But this position changes with that, then it is under motion, and if it is under motion, its velocity can be obtained by this formula. So velocity is denoted by V. d by dt of vector r is x dot I, x I cap, y j cap plus z k cap from here. Now this is t, open the bracket, dx by dt into I plus dy by dt into j plus dz by dt into k bar. See, dx by dt, it is the velocity component along x-axis, can be written. Similarly, velocity component along y into j plus velocity component along z-axis into k. This is velocity vector which obtained by the position vector. Now we want to see the acceleration. Acceleration in a 3 dimension. Is acceleration is acting or not? So we are knowing acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity. So rate means in mechanics divided by time. So acceleration if represented by a, it is velocity vector by time. See carefully, it is d by dt of velocity vector is by equation 2. It is vxi vyj plus vzk. Now it is equal to, open the bracket, dvx by dt into I plus dvy by dt z plus d by dt of vz into k. See very carefully here in the case. dvx by dt, it is acceleration component along x-axis into y, acceleration component along y-axis. Similarly, acceleration component along. So this is acceleration equation. Now we are going to see one more important topic here in the case in 3 dimension, multiplication of vector in 3 dimension. So we will see here in this two. The first one is scalar product. We have discussed this scalar product, scalar multiplication and cross product or vector product in part 2. But here we are going to see in 3 dimensions. Scalar product in this, if we have a 2 vector quantity, scalar product is also called dot product, in which 2 vector quantity a and b denoted by a dot b defined by mod of vector a into mod of vector b into cosine of angle between both. The resultant here in this case is always scalar. And when I was explaining, I have given the example of work. It is force and displacement. Force and displacement both are vector quantities, and their dot product is always a scalar. Work is a scalar quantity. So by this example, we will understand this multiplication in 3 dimensions. See carefully here in this case. Here in this case, very carefully. Let force vector in 3 dimensional is represented by fx I plus fy j plus fz k, and displacement vector d is dxi plus dyj plus dzk. Here by this example, we will see the 2 terms. So see, please do not get confusion. We will see the dot product of unit vector ijk also, and dot product between 2 vector quantity in 3 dimension. See, so when we obtain dot product of these two to calculate work done, so we will keep this value fx I fy j fz k dot dxi plus dyj plus dzk. See here in this case very carefully. So when we terms fx will be multiplied by all three terms, fy will be multiplied by all three terms, and fz terms will be multiplied by all these. So when we multiply this by here, so it becomes fx dx I dot I. See I dot I here in this case. I dot I. I dot I means magnitude of vector 1, unit vector 1, magnitude of unit vector 2 into cosine of angle between both. I, two unit vector, one is along x-axis, another is along x-axis, both are equal vector, the angle is 0. So I dot I cos 0. Since cos 0 is 1, so it's become 1 into 1 into 1 is equal to 1. Similarly, we can write j dot j is equal to 1 and k dot k is equal to 1. But when we are going to obtain I dot j, so its dot product is according to the formula magnitude of vector 1 into magnitude of vector b1 into cosine of angle between both. So I and j, I is along x-axis and j is along y-axis, so angle is 90 degree, and cos 90 is 0, so 1 into 1 and 0 is equal to 0. This implies that I dot I is equal to by symmetry, j dot k is equal to k dot I is equal to 0. So see carefully, we will apply when I is multiplied by I is 1, I is multiplied by dot product j is 0, I by k is 0. So similarly we can write this will be multiplied here, rest of the factor will be 0. Similarly it is multiplied by this factor, fz dz k dot k is 1. So it is dot product of two vector in a 3 dimension. See very carefully, this is a concept, and this concept is applicable in the numerical problem to obtain in 3 dimensions. So be careful when you are going to deal with this. Now we are going to see the last topic of the today's lecture, vector product in 3 dimension. It is also called cross product. It is product means between two vector quantity a and b. It is denoted by a cross b, defined by magnitude of vector a into magnitude of vector b into sine of angle between both. So this is, we are going to obtain by taking formula this torque is equal to force into displacement. To make it clear that F is same like that, fx I plus fy j plus fz k, and displacement vector d is equal to dx I plus dyj plus dz k. This is a vector. So torque is here is equal to F cross d. This is F is fxi plus fyj plus fzk cross vector d dxi plus dyj plus dzk. It is same like as the previous question, but see carefully, honestly and very carefully. See the some formula. I cross I. By the formula A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. This is a vector quantity, then I cap. Direction is perpendicular to this plane. So I cross I is magnitude of vector 1 1, vector 2 1 into I sin I is 0 degree into n cap. Sin 0 is 0, so all is a 0 vector. So we may write I cross I is equal to J cross J similarly is equal to K cross K is equal to 0. Now see for dissimilar I cross J. By this formula, see very carefully. Magnitude of vector 1 I1, J1, angle between both 90 degree, and direction unit vector along Z axis. What is unit vector along Z axis? K. So I into sin 90, 1 into 1 into 1 into K. This is K. So we can write I cross J is equal to K. Come in cycle, J cross K is equal to I, or K cross I is equal to J. So whenever this concept came, just opposite to this, here in case it came I cross I is equal to J cross K equal to K cross K is equal to 1, and in this similar case it was 0. Now in here similar case it is a 0, and the dissimilar case it is a unit vector along perpendicular direction of the planes. So if it is obtained in this way, so remember this matrix here, I say K, Fx, Fy, Fz, Dx, Dy, Dz, and it can be obtained by the method of matrix to solve here. Okay, be careful. Thank you and have a nice day.